Welcome to training number 5. This is securing your capital. So when you're securing your investment, you want to make sure and have all the documentation. So the first documents you should have obviously is title insurance guaranteeing your chain of title. Okay. So title company for ensuring your chain of title. If you are in a state where you need to have, sorry, it's hot out here, it's summer. If you're in a state that closes with attorneys, make sure you have that documentation to secure your mortgage onto the property, and that there isn't any outstanding junior liens or senior liens on that property. And your attorney legal, if you're in one of those states, if you're working with title company like in Colorado, then they will assure you of chain of title, clear chain of title. It's very important. Okay, so first mortgage, make sure that you have a secured first mortgage, or in our state, Colorado, it's a deed of trust, okay? Promissory, the promissory should outline the deal, the note. So to give you an example, our promissory state, Profit Development's borrowing $100,000 for the purchase of 123 Main Street. We will pay it back within 6 months or less, no prepayment penalty, at a 15% APR. So just is the outline of the structure of the deal, and then I personally guarantee it, and then that also gets filed with the mortgage and the rest of the documentation with the title company. Okay, so homeowner's policy, paid at closing with capital investor as beneficiary. That's you, capital investor. Now, a homeowner's insurance policy, just in case anything happens to the house, you want to make sure to have that in place, and make sure that you or your company is the beneficiary in case it burns down or floats away on a flood or anything of that nature. So we usually pay for 6 months because most of our deals are 6 to 9 month deals. So what we do is our 6 to 9 month deals have a 6 to 9 month term, and we have that homeowner's policy prepaid for that term to secure our investors so that if anything happens, they're good to go, and it's prepaid at closing. And then when we close, a lot of our deals, we're closing in 4 months. We're closing in 3, 4 months, 5 months tops. So we just get a kickback back from the homeowner's policy, which is Foremost Insurance. They just pay us back for the policy that we prepaid 9 months and only used 5 months. Then we just push that onto our next deal. So it's not a big deal. Get it prepaid, good for security. A licensed inspector. You should have a licensed inspector hired by your borrower, whoever you're providing the loan to. So that investor will walk through with the inspector, and they know what they're dealing with this property, so that they can have, know that it needs updated mechanical. Electrical maybe is short-circuited. Maybe the roof's in bad shape. Whatever it is, if they're not a licensed general contractor, I would have them a requirement that they take an inspector, or pay an inspector for a complete report. And then inspector also comes in on the draws. So as they draw money on their renovations, on their project, the inspector goes and confirms or denies that they've finished the work that they're billing out for, that they're pulling draws for from you, that have usually been escrowed with the title company. And just to give you an example, if it's a $40,000 rehab renovation, that would be about 4 weeks. We do about $10,000 a week in our business. That's kind of standard across the board. But people should be renovating about $10,000 a week, and that $10,000 includes both labor and materials. Sometimes you do more, sometimes you do a little less, but it should average out about $10,000 a week. And if they're not doing that kind of volume and they're taking 6 or 8 weeks, you've got kind of an issue there, okay? But on the draws, when they're asking for that $20,000 check after 2 weeks worth of work, or $10,000 after a week's worth of work, you want to confirm with a licensed inspector that the work was done to the quality. You either do the inspection or have the inspector do the inspection, and confirm or deny that that was done before you pay them. And then, again, that just comes down to confirmation. It also confirms the deal. If it's just paint and carpet, before you close on it, you want that inspector to confirm that it's, it's in good shape, nothing structural, the roof's in good shape, whatever it is. So it'll give you an outline of all the work that will be upcoming, and then if that work doesn't match what your inspector has, your inspector report doesn't match what your investor has for renovation line item budgetary items, then, well, maybe there's an issue there. You want a sewer specialist. You definitely want to have everything scoped. So whoever the borrower is, they should have an inspector over there, a sewer scope or a pipeline specialist to go in, scope that sewer line to be able to anticipate either if they're going to replace it or put in cleanouts or if it's good to go. And then confirm the budget with the general contractor before you close on the property. That means if your investor is not a general contractor like we are in-house, so we confirm all of our budgets, we already have all of our contractors on board, and that budget is locked when we close on it. Now, sometimes what we do is if we're doing a pop top, we have a couple pop tops going on right now, and the foundation wasn't sufficient, but we couldn't get under the foundation until we closed on the property, so we had like 3 different engineering plans, potential specs, and we budgeted for all of them. So we had a contingency, plan A, plan B, plan C. We ended up going with plan B. So it's kind of curious, but you definitely want to anticipate all those costs up front. Even if you can't anticipate them, you know what it could be. It's going to be either plan A, B, or C. So an experienced investor, an experienced rehabber knows that, or contractor, general contractor like myself. But if they're new to the game, your investor that you're backing is new to the game and can't anticipate some things, make sure there's some money in contingency, especially if it is an involved renovation. So I hope this has been beneficial. Again, confirm your budget with your general contractor. Make sure he has some good subs. Make sure you like the general contractor and he knows what he's doing. I do a little due diligence on him as well. And we'll see you on the next one.